Lynn Rene MacDonald for Live Talk Forum here on Facebook and at the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. Tonight, it's kind of quiet still because of all the snow we've had going on. We're going to wait a few minutes for the people to come. It's 7:15 Sunday evenings. We do our live talk forum here for questions and answers and wisdom from higher knowing or God or love. So we're going to wait a few minutes for the people to come, and God bless you all, and thanks for coming. All right, I'm going to light a little sage in the meantime. Is it on, Ray? Strangely enough.
Well, I do have those two questions.
Okay.
I have a question from Sarah Sutra from last Sunday.
All right.
I just ran out of time. Hey, everybody.
Oh, they're starting to show up. Everybody's a little late, apparently. Us too. So here we are. A little bit of sage. I'm sure we all need it in these times, right? All right. So our live talk forum tonight goes till about usually around 9 o'clock. So it starts at 7:15. It's about approximately a 2-hour show. Thank you, everybody, for coming. You can come here live at our Holistic and Spiritual Healing Center, the Institute for Christ Consciousness. It's a love energy healing and teaching center for people and pets here in Virginia Beach and the Copper Dragon. So we do metaphysical services and we help people, right? We do medical intuitive, we do medium work, we do psychic work, and we do our live shows, our live talk forums, as well as our medical intuitive, 6 and 12 medical intuitive on Friday nights at 7:15 as well. That show's about an hour and 15, depending on the crazy things that go on that can't fit in our time frame, right? Okay, so some people are walking in. You can come here live to our live studio. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Also, thank you all for your donations and helping to support us, sharing our work, sharing what we do, so that we can get the wisdom from the highest knowing of love, Christ consciousness, for everybody, the God's honest truth about everything in their lives, as well as how to handle everything, whether it's health, medical stuff, mysteries, family misunderstandings, where am I going to live, what can I speak with my grandfather, any and all questions, as well as energy work, astrology work. This is all the work that we do, your soul's life path, dreams, past lives, everything metaphysical that is God, that is love, in Earth world, as well as in metaphysically as well, and in Saturn's Earth world. That's what we do. We answer these questions from love in the purest form. And Jesus, take the wheel. Let us have the greatest show, the best fun, the best of everything, the God's honest truth, and for everybody, best solutions, best love energy for everything for tonight's show. And I'm doing my saging because I feel like the energy's been a little rough. These things come in to help us emotionally to release stuff, as well as just release energy inside of us, both emotionally and in all ways. So we're all going through influxes. Like, we wake up in the morning, we're fine. 2 hours later, we're pissed off. 3 hours later, we're not very nice, because shit is literally coming out of us, meaning toxic energies, right? So it's been a lot. So I'm doing some extra saging today. I can't tell you how much I love California white sage, but I do, and I use it quite often. I still got to put my rings on. I got my hibiscus peach tea. We're still working on recovering from mold toxicity. That's you guys have been following us all along with this. My whole family has it. My pets have it. You name it. And we're working on this as well with our health. And hi, Mark. Hi. And hi, Dr. Steve. Glad you guys could make it. Jen, too. Jen's with us tonight, and so is Ray. So thank you guys for coming. And that said, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about a whole bunch of things, and we're going to answer any questions that you might have. You can still ask medical intuitive questions here on this show. You can ask anything you choose to ask from love that you feel in your heart. Jennifer has 2 questions this week from last what was it? Was it the medical intuitive show, or was it the one
of each?
Okay, so a question from each of the shows that was left over, because we do try to get to all of your questions. And that said, I got my cup of rings. When I'm in a rush and I'm late, we whale them in a cup, and and we get here and put them on, right? All right, so that's what we're doing now with my tea. And whenever you guys are ready, let's do it.
All right, well, let's lead off with Sarah Sutra then.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother
Wait,
passed.
is this a question from last week?
It is.
Is she here tonight or not
She
yet?
is already here.
Okay. Hi, Sarah Sutra. Thanks for coming. And thank you all for coming. Thank you all for supporting us. We're super grateful. And it's kind of like still leftover snow. Virginia Beach has done a better job this year getting rid of the snow and everything than it's ever done the 20-some years I've been here. It's crazy. So it's really incredible. And I'm sitting here and I'm like thinking about it and I'm talking to God. I'm like, why is this, right? And then they said new governor. And I was like, aha, interesting, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's really neat. You know, you think random things, right? And then suddenly the answer like floats in, you know, and you're like, and you know it's the truth because for fucking years, they never did shit about the snow. We be snowed in here for 5 days, I shit you not. So when it snows in Virginia Beach, it's like being in Alaska. You better make sure you got enough food and fucking drink and everything that you need, medicines and everything, because you ain't going out for a while because everything's frozen. They don't plow, you know, they don't put down any salt, but I'm not a really big fan of salt or sand anyways. However, they were not doing it before this snowstorm most recent. Do you guys agree with that? You might not know, Mark, because you're not really in Virginia Beach, but you would know because you've lived here for a while.
The secondaries are a lot better than normal.
Oh yeah, everything's way better than normal. There was one time we were snowed in here for 2 fucking weeks. It was ridiculous. We couldn't open the shop, but you know my rent's still due. You know what I mean? And this is just more of the crap of the stuff that has gotten out of control in our realities, and this is why we're here to change the world, right? All of us, right? Okay. So Jen, you said Sarah Sutra has a question from last week.
Yeah, her mom passed away 2 years ago. She just had the 2-year anniversary, and she was wondering if there were any messages from her mom.
Well, as always, Sarah, your mom loves you very, very much. The color pink, right? I have this little pink angel that Jennifer gave me for Christmas that that was one of these ladies who was quite ornery that we used to love, and Jennifer was kind of gifted it from her, and this is little pink angel. I don't know if you can see this pink, but instantly this was catching my eye as Jennifer was asking me the question about your mom, because this is the way things work in this reality. Like we'll be sitting here and something will catch my eye, right, and it'll be relevant to the messages that I have to tap into. So things in Earth World help us to understand and bring messages through them energetically for you metaphysically, right? And for all of us, right? So think about these things, you know, when you ask God a question, just like I sat there and said, well, I wonder why this year are they plowing and the streets are better? Why, right? And then all of a sudden, these words float in, new governor, right? Virginia Beach has got a new governor, right? So that makes sense, right? And it feels right. So when Jennifer asked me this question for you, Sarah, I saw this little angel here that's in pink, and this color pink is for your mother, right? There's some kind of, I don't want to say attachment, but this color light pink has to do with your mother, and they're telling me you'll know what that is, and if you do not, it will come to you, okay? So, but also, this is a what? It's this beautiful little angel, right? I hope it lights up. Love the angels. Right. Well, it's a little worn out, but, you know, thanks God for a new battery for her, right? All right. So anyway, so we got this little angel here, and instantly when I was sitting here, you know, I saw this little angel because this is universe showing me things that are connected to her mom, okay? So obviously angels are connected to your mom. They're around her all the time, right? And these are the messages that come in, okay? Angels are around you. You work with the angels all the time. Are you aware of that? All right, so just your mom did too, and this was in the energy of your family lineage. The color pink comes in, that very light and beautiful pink. You may notice that your mom wore a lot of pink or had pink or like the color pink in her wardrobe, right? The color pink is also about nurturing. It is about self-love, right? So all of these things are energies that are in your family lineage, right, that your mom and the angels are sharing with me for right now. And I'm just sitting here and Jen asked me the question and it's for you, and then this stuff comes in. And the color pink is about love. It's about love. Pink roses, right, red roses are passion, and yellow is friendship, I believe, right? And white is healing. White is healing is what universe tells me, but you know, all of it's healing because it's all based in love, right? So think about this when you give roses, right? Because that white energy is highest Christ energy of healing, that white light, that bright light, enlightenment, right? Okay, so that said, this comes in for you and with your mom, and the first words that I said is, you know, and we all hear this and we're like, well, anybody could say this, you know, the traditional, that she loves you very, very much, because she does. And really, we don't see things here in Earth world in the way of metaphysical and vice versa, right? So what really matters is love in a higher dimension of a higher knowing, right? And that's all that matters. That's really all that matters, right? Love. So she wants me to share with you how much she loves you, and this bits and pieces of information about the angels, about the tidbits, and she's telling me that there is more doorways and things to open for you, Sarah, with your healing gifts and with the angels, and particularly the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, and there's another one that are three really ones that are powerful. Metatron, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. These are three. There will be plenty other ones that you will work with and do work with on and off. And your mom is telling me, yeah, it's with the family, and she's around you all the time as well. She's also one of your guides now. She has chosen to do this work because she was never really in the same exact space as you were. She feels, what she's saying to me is she feels like she was in a more religious space with this. Hence, that's also why angels will come in. Angels are a connection that bond, you know, metaphysical with like religion and earth world, right? Everybody knows about angels, heaven and hell. They're like traditional staples in religion and God and love and dimensions that are in belief systems that bridge basically heaven and earth or multi-dimensions, right? So this is what she's sharing with you, is that she is not quite in the same space that, let's say, you are in understanding. It is different, but it is in the family lineage, and she gets it, but she wants me to share these things with you, and more information is going to be coming for you in terms of your healing gifts, and it has everything to do with the angels. Yeah. So cool shit, right? Okay, let me just see if there's anything else. Interesting enough, your mother also, and you have this in your energy as well, that of a reincarnated angel. So what does that mean? That means that's a very big reason why you would connect with the angels. Okay, so you have had lifetimes as angels. And people say, well, that can't happen. Well, you know what? With the power of God, anything is possible, right? Just like people say to me, oh, you can't be an animal and you can't be a thing. With the power of God and love, you can be anything that you choose to be. Everything is what you believe, right? Everything is what you believe. You can say, well, you know, I don't believe this or I don't believe that. And same thing with people's individual beliefs, right? You know, you can tell them that something didn't happen and they know damn well that it did, or vice versa, you know, and eventually, you know, people believe the things that they say, right? And so this is how powerful your beliefs are, right? Everything is God, everything is love, and everything is magic, and everything is what you believe, right? So your mom, and in your family lineage is a whole lineup of angels, and this is also why you connect with the angels. And most people who really connect with the angels, like I have angels all around me, and big ones and tall ones and different ones for different reasons, and there's also dark angels, right? And we can talk about that as well, because there's some really wicked cool shit that is everything that is God and that is really incredible. But getting back to what I'm talking about here for you and for everybody who connects with angels, right? You have that energy in you, and you will have had to have been an angel at least once. Okay? Because this is part of that energy to be able to connect and have an innate understanding and knowing and being able to work with these energies. It's kind of like in Earth World, you cannot understand, and one of the sayings in Earth World is, you know, you don't know what it's like to be somebody else until you walk in their shoes, till you are them or have that experience or those experiences, right? Just like you can't talk to a mother who somebody who doesn't have kids, right, about being a mother, right, in terms of having children, because if they don't have children, they don't really know what that's like, right? Same kind of thing. So Earth world mirrors the metaphysical in multiple ways, right? So everything is messages of God and universe and love to tell you the truth about everything that is. Now, whether you believe what I say and you go, oh, and there's parts of me that goes, is that the truth, God? Is this really true that I could have been this, or could have been that, right? And so I bring it right to source if I don't believe, or I'm not sure, or I have doubts. I ask God to clear this energy out, to change it, to free me from it. And I ask God for the God's honest truth, right? And I say, have I been a bracelet before? And they go, no. I'm just telling you what they're telling me for my story, right? I sit there and I go, is that the God's honest truth? Yep. No need to be a bracelet, okay? For me, okay? Right? So, and again, everything is what you believe, right? All right. So that said, and you want to know the God's honest truth about anything, you ask God for the God's honest truth. And as crazy as things may seem, right? But if you believe that you really were that bracelet and you know that you were, right? So these are things, right, that if you believe that you are, then it is true and authentic to you, right? Because everything is magic and everything is God and everything is energy. And just like if you were attacked, like one of the things that happened with the Central Park jogger, right? If you believe, right? If she believes, right, one of the things that happened way back when with the Central Park jogger and the whole story way, way, way back when I was a kid, right, is that, and anybody who's suffered trauma, what happens is their soul processes things, right, in ways that they don't remember what happened. Why? To protect them, right? The soul is an incredible, magical thing, right? It doesn't mean that it didn't happen, right? It's about, right, the magic of all that is love, that is God, right? And in your soul, right? Your belief system and the magic of the soul that does these things, right? Just like when people do drugs, they really believe certain things happen to them under the influence of drugs, and there's no way you can convince them anything of it, right? Because there's all different spaces of love or God within our souls that are connected, that are part of everything that are God, that is super magic, that people don't understand, right? And all these things, our plan is to explore all these things because everything is what you believe, okay? So remember that. So, and we'll get into that more into the future, okay? I'm just asking God, I'm going to ask them why we're talking about this. Because, and what they're saying is because the power of free will brings you to, you can be and do anything you so choose to be and do. With the power of God, it's ask and you shall receive. Now, whether anybody else believes your shit or their stuff or not is up to them, because that's our own individual, unique experience. That is us, that is the God within us, that is part of everything that is God and is unique and special to us, right? So, where it becomes that you have to get to the truth of it, of whatever it is that you believe, is where you have to ask and you shall receive. Ask God for the God's honest truth, right? Ask God what the truth is in all ways. Is this really the truth? What about this? Why was I this? Why would I choose to be this? How did this happen? Is this something I imagined? Was this something in a dream, right? Really amazing shit. There's a million ways. It's not necessarily literally in Earth world either. Like, oh, I was this pen, It's not sometimes, many times, literally, right? You could have been that in a dream and truly believed that you were that and retained that energy in this lifetime, and cycles in your soul, right, from lifetimes both positive and unwell bring you gifts within that space of the belief of being that, actually feeling what it's like to be this, right? And being in that space, whether you were it or not, it's all about your beliefs. Crazy heavy shit, right? Neat. But God is magic. Love is magic. All the magic. Okay? So, that said, you were an angel, Sarah. Your mom is an angel. Both you guys have powerful energies that associate with the angels. I'm just laughing because they're talking to me the whole time I'm talking about this, and they're going, there's a lot of people who don't believe you. It's fucking funny. and then they say to me, and don't you give a shit about that? And I'm like, to you. Right? All right. Thank you, God. So, that said, it's really fucking funny, isn't it? God is just amazing, right? But we all have to wrap our heads around as to why we believe what we believe or don't believe, right? Things. So if we talk to God all the time and ask for the God's honest truth, it will always come. But if you cannot hear it, you cannot understand it, you cannot see it or get it at the vibration of God that you are in or love that you are in your own soul space, then it's very much the same as when I talk to Mark and I tell Mark or somebody in my audience, right? And I tell them things and they can't hear what I'm saying. Right? Like if Mark has his heart set on dating this one girl and I tell him, Mark, there's 100 girls that are better than her or 5 girls that I can see in your energy or around your energy that are better than this other girl, right? But Mark has his heart set on this one girl, he can't fucking hear me. Right? That's because Mark is in this space, right? So if Mark can't wrap his head around in this space that he could ever possibly be a pen or be this in his dreams, right? Or whatever magic comes out of his soul from all these lifetimes and all the energy that is him and his mission from this lifetime and into the future, right? This is Mark's journey. It's not my job to convince him of that. My job is to teach him truth of God and love in multiple, as infinite in many ways, because I'm a messenger of love, energy, or God for this lifetime. This is what we do, right? So to bring you the God's honest truth so you can work with these tools and utilize your life in the healthiest, best way and be the greatest you that you can be. All right. So that said, Sarah, there's a whole bunch of amazing angels around you. I feel like you have a really great propensity to write books about angels, healing with the angels, protection angels, guardian angels, healing angels, angels that come in for justice. And this is all stuff that your mom is kind of ushering in the doorway for you. So I want to tell you about this tonight because this is coming in for you. What else, God? All right. Anything else? And clear don't change anything and everything in all of us that has any kind of difficulty or toxic or unwell or isn't the God's honest truth about everything and all that is. That is love. Wow. Holy shit. They're just showing me, they're just like sending me in all this information. I know I'm kind of going, zzz. All right, God. Let me wrap my head around this. Yeah, because what they're showing me is lesser of vibrations of love and energy to explain it to you more and better for those of you who are having a hard time, right? Being a solid energy such as this or a solid energy such as that, right? There is all different kinds of energy that is God, that is love, and it starts in all these different spaces, right? And depending what piece of God that you are that breaks off at whatever vibration you are is why I would choose to be a bracelet or not. Or have that experience, right? Because these are all understandings, as crazy as one might think in Earth world, well, we don't need to have that energy or be that energy. But this is also why Piscean energies will talk to things, because they know everything is alive, right? It's alive. Right? Same thing with the Native American cultures and many cultures, right? They have different belief systems where they honor and respect everything, right? Everything from, the sacred cows, right? And cows are animals, right? And they're alive, right? In a different way than, let's say, this is alive, a ring, right? But it doesn't make it anything less than all that is God, right? And the more we love things and share energies and be kind and come from love, just like your car. I talk to my car all the time. I'm like, okay, baby, get me home on this flat tire or whatever I need to do. And I love you, vehicle, and you're the best, And my car even has a name, right? My Jeep has a name. My 20-some-year-old Toyota has a name, right? Compliments of my sister, the Piscean queen, right? Right. So, because there is life and God is everything, and that's about respect, and that's about honor, and that's about coming from love, right? So this should give you all an idea that there is infinite vibrations of God, everything from this tiny little ring with little American flags on it, perfect for me, the ultimate patriot, right? Patriot of freedom. Not politics, freedom from love, of love, okay? All right, so everything is a different vibration of love energy that is God. And regardless of whatever space of God that it is in that reality that it breaks off to be in, let's say, Earth world, like things like this, it is exactly what that energy chooses, which is all part of God, understanding God or love itself. And without having understood this existence, I can't get that ring off my finger, right? Without understanding this existence, right? I may never be able to respect beautiful things or rings or the gifts that they bring if I haven't been that energy or understand that energy in any way, shape, or form. Now, I may not need to be everything, across the board, whether it's a table, a chair, an animal, or whatever, right? At different times in our journeys or our beings of energy that is God, we choose what it is that we need for our best destiny and love energy understanding, right? So it may be that you may want to be a wedding ring and feel what it's like to have the bond and be the solid instrument that represents the energy of that bond between two beautiful, amazing souls who love each other. Cool shit, right? So wrap your head around this shit, people. It's pretty fucking awesome, right? Right? So I'm doing it, right? So, and thank you, God, for that for us, right? The best wisdom, the God's honest truth of all this, always from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Clear, heal, and change any and all blocks and energies in us, emotionally and in all ways that, whoa, this is like, whoo, heavy energies of information massively coming into me. So thank you, God, for that for us. Thank you for these gifts now, please, of clearing, healing, change, and anything that blocks me from believing the God's honest truth of everything that you tell me, always, God, and doing our work, clear, heal, and change that, and give us these gifts now, please, from love, and release these emotionally and in all ways from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is, and thank you, God, for that for us, right? Wicked cool shit. So different energies are different vibrations of God that break off. Some will need, the existence of being something solid, metaphysical, and earth world, and many times many different things, right? Depending at the vibration it is, just like newer souls, right? And just it also depends on how many dimensions that you go into, right? And who and what it is, the energy that is you that you choose to be. And people say, well, dogs are of a lesser vibration, and this is just like when religions start to tell you that animals don't mean as much as human beings, and it's okay to be shitty to an animal. I mean, or not treat an animal in the same way as person, right? The more you deliver love, truly, authentically, to anybody and everything, the more it comes back to you tenfold. Just like with the ailments that I have, I'm sitting here talking to my body. It's my physical vehicle. And I'm like, man, I'm so sorry, body, right? I'm so sorry for being such a shit to you, right? And I love you so much, right? And when we get sick and we don't feel good, if you do these things and you talk to you authentically, your body, your finger, heal, finger, please, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. Clear, heal, and change this that makes me not love my body, not love me, right? Be difficult to me, ignore my needs, right? The more you come from love, just like your car, if your car doesn't start, or anything, the more you come from love with everything, the more you change everything out here, right? And the more you realize that everything is alive, and everything is truth of God, and everything is love. And the more healthy I am, the more great things I have in my life, the more abundance, the more understanding, the more wisdom, the more everything fucking amazing. And no matter what the challenge, as I learn these experiences, I grow every day more in these spaces. Just like right now, one of the biggest, most powerful things we're learning, and we drove by on a remote road down here, pretty remote. A lot of people don't go on it. It's on the base. There's a little church sign there. And that church sign, me and Jen drove by, and it was the message that we knew was going on for all of us right now. And what did it say, Jen? Do you remember what it said? By any chance?
When you've done all that you can do.
Yeah. You give it to God.
Essentially,
yep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the church sign said. It said, when you have done everything that you can do, you give it to Jesus. You give it to God. You give it to love. Right? Because this is those times, right? I can be sick, but I don't get better in 5 minutes. let's say right now, in the way that I need to, or I feel I need to, or would want to. And this is about God's time. And this is about trusting God that no matter what Earth World says about my sickness, that I could, let's say, have a short life expectancy, or this could happen, or that could happen, right? I can't employ all this scary, toxic shit and fear, like, right? But I ask God, Jesus, take the wheel, clear my fears out of me, change everything in me that is unwell, unbehooving, emotional, free me from it now, please, and clear, heal, and change all this, and put the best way to be in Jesus. Take the wheel, because these are some of the most difficult times, if you haven't noticed, that we've all been going through our whole lives. Fucking incredible shit. Incredible. Right? What do? This is about faith, man. This is about trusting God and knowing, or trusting love and knowing that no matter what happens, universe, God, love is always going to be there for you, take care of you, do what's best for you, right? When there's zero money in my account, okay, God, I need the rent in 2 weeks. Thanks, right? Same thing, right? Right? It's about our fears that get in our way, and our toxicities and unwellnesses that are our energies in our souls and in all that we are that stop us, right? If we don't know how things work, right? But without, higher knowing of love, energy, and God, and without being amazing things in anything and everything, depending on what it is that our energy calls in for us, having understandings, experiences, physical things and realities, as well as being things, right? As well as being animals. One of the most profound lifetimes I ever had in my life, that I remember and recall from this lifetime, I don't know if I've told you this, was a lifetime I had of being a tiger. Right? And I will talk to you guys about that if it is best. I'm going to ask God at the end of this, right? Because I want to get to more of your questions, because they're downloading with me with massive amounts of information, and I could talk here probably for the next 3 hours. But I want to get to some of your questions too, and I wanted to finish up with Sarah's stuff so that she understands that in the future, her mother is guiding me to tell her she's going to be with her along the way, help her open these doorways to the angels and with the angels, and amazing things, incredible things are going to be coming in for her. Books on all this stuff, so get ready. I see public speaking events, teaching people about the angels, new doorways to healing, working with the angels, books about angels that people don't even know, like whether it's guardian angels, angels for justice, angels for, guarding your place of business, and angels that are personal guardians, and angels that are around you at any given time, just like spirit animals, right? So I feel you're going to open all new doorways into this Sarah Sutra for you. And this reading was special for you. Thank you for your patience, for waiting from week to week. And lots of other information came in here, not just for you, but for everybody. So exciting things are coming for you, girl. Enjoy it. All right. So who's next?
Sarah did say thank you, and just that, her mom gave her an angel statue, and it was called an August angel. She said that she was a pink kind of gal, too, and she said, fuck a lot.
Go, girl. Thanks. Thanks for the validation. And you know what's funny is August is Lion's Gate. Lion's Gate is Christ energy, right? And August is Leo time, right? And what is Leo? It's about being in your heart, and it's about passion. Totally makes sense to me. Feels right to me, right? All right. So you can look up all those things as well, right? And who's next?
Jessie May. Jessie May had a question from Friday. She says she has a friend that has negative energy attached to her. Do you have any guidance on this?
All right. This is where things get complex, all right? When people say to me they have negative energy attached to them, it's kind of like witchcraft and spells, right? If I don't believe in this, it can't happen. So whether it's subconsciously or consciously, energetically, right? Whether I'm aware of it or not, that means this energy plays into that. So when you say she has an energy attached to her, now there's people who swear to God that this shit is, that this shit really happens in the way, right? Just like with aliens, right? These are things that are complex things, and like I'll be like, no, that's not really the truth of how it's going down, and they go, well, you told me that there's no such thing as aliens and alien abductions can't happen. Well, it's not in the way that you think, right? Everything is God and everything is metaphysical, and there are multiple different ways that energy can manifest. It's infinite, right? But what happens with toxicities is fear. okay? Fear is the motherfucker for all of us. If you think about what, is going on inside of us, right, in our energy, and we talk about, somebody having dark energy on us, right, instantly what comes in is fears. The fears of losing our minds, the fears of being an invalid, the fear of going blind, the fear that we have of lifetimes, and we carry these energies in us, right? This is one of the reasons why they say that there is no hell, that hell is right here in Earth world, but it would be created and manifested through your fears and unwellnesses and energies that are in here, that get manifested out, whether it is in physical Earth world, right? However way it gets manifested out, it is toxic energy, and it's energy that is fears that comes out, right? And so when you say an energy that's an entity, it's not quite in the way that we think. You could say, well, sometimes I'll say, well, you could say that, but the truth is, right, hell is inside of here. God doesn't create hell, man does, right? Energy that is love, right, or man in your soul, right, in your soul, your experiences, your processing, your understanding, your manipulated energies that your soul processes through fears, through agreements, through upsettedness, through sadness, through so many different processes of emotions, right? And energetically, your soul has all this stuff going on in it, right? But if you don't believe that a spell can't do anything bad to you, it cannot. Do you understand that? And the same thing is true with energies and entities, and the people say, like, oh, they lost their mind. Well, really, it's a brokenness in their fucking soul that believes that they have an entity or an energy like that. And if you believe that, then you buy into that. But really, it's the toxic unwellness within us that are energies, whether they're subconscious or conscious. A lot of us don't even know they're going on in there. Just like the habits and patterns that run in us, where we have problems with people and we don't even know why this person can't stand us. But it's an energy from a lifetime ago that, let's say, maybe we betrayed them. But maybe we've healed that in us, but that energy, something is still unfinished there for them or for us, and then that creates some kind of a problem between us and the energy here, right? We may not get along. The girl or somebody may say to me, fuck you, and I'd be like, fuck you back, and then we end up in a big street fight or some crazy shit like that, because everything is energy, and it comes from subconscious or conscious, but it's in your soul, right? And it's out here, of course. But if you don't let things in through beliefs, right? And it could be conditioning, but everything is all tied up and wrapped up in your emotional, because your emotional is the gasoline that creates everything, right? That's why when you have passion, you have babies, right? So, this said, Jessie May, I will gladly talk to you about this, right? Because I do get people who come into me and they say, well, my kid had an entity on them and 6 other people worked on it and we got rid of that entity, right? And I have a couple clients who swear to God and don't believe what the fuck I'm saying, and that's okay. That's the space of God that they're in, and I can only tell them the truth, and whether they believe it or not is their journey. And they said they've got 6 other healers and they worked on their kid, and then the kid got well and she's seen it and she knows that happened, and okay, all right, if that's what you believe, that's okay. But the truth of the matter is, what I pick up on is that energy from all those healers gave that soul the power to release it. That energy, not necessarily that it was a demon, it's just a toxic within him or her that believes in that, and that's part of how that got released. But without the soul wanting to release it, it's that much harder of a battle. It's lesser likely to happen, right? And many times there is multiple things attached to psychology, right? And if you look at your South Node, and if you have your South Node in Scorpio, you're a master at human psychology. And this is also what I do, right? Because my South Node is in Scorpio. I've mastered metaphysics. I've mastered fucking human behavior, right? I don't have a fucking psychology degree. In fact, I have a shit fuck ton of really fucked up doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, you name it, lawyers, right? Healers, you name it, that come to me that are really, really, really fucked up, right? Right? And these are people that everyday Earth world relies on. And it's not because I'm better than them, because I work with a different energy that is truth of God from lifetimes, right? And I have different belief systems, right? But the South Node in Scorpio, by nature, you are a detective. You get to the bottom of things, right? And having scorpionic energies, just like Mars in Virgo, right? Mars is also associated with this energy because it's Scorpio, Mars and Pluto, right? And then you also are going to have Mercury in Scorpio. So this is what my soul does. It gets to the God's honest truth of the bottom of everything, right? And you don't have to believe it or not, but you feel it in your heart what the truth is, right? So when somebody can't budge out of these spaces, my job is to tell them the truth and let them go to these places within them. And someday, when they are ready to have this understanding of God or love within them, they will get that. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. So usually, just like I have certain people who are schizophrenic, I work with schizophrenics, and it doesn't mean that all doctors and psychiatrists and people are bad or toxic. I meet many, many gifted people every day, but some of them are your craziest motherfucking people. You'd be amazed, right? Because they go to science, they go to the methods, they go to the earth world stuff, and there's a lot of truths within that. But when you're cut off from God, you're fucked. Right? There's no way you can get to the answer of everything that is, in all that is, metaphysically, physically, spiritually, all that is God or love. You can't do it, right? Without working with God or love on a conscious level as well as subconscious. You'll have gifts and tools, and you came in to do this, and you'll be great at what you do. But imagine, like I say to my kids, you could be the greatness of this little silver ring, or you could be the greatness of everything that is. What do you want to do? You want to throw it down and be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it myself. I don't need God. That's what the world has done. Oh, I got the fucking science. Cheers. Really, truth. Be as sick as you fucking want, right? At some point, you'll have enough of it. And what are you going to do? You're going to cry out to God and say, hey, man, I need some help here. Because that's my story, too. Truth be told, it's all our stories. It's a nature in the earth world is when you've had enough suffering, whatever your ratio for that is, you call out to God. You call out to love. Okay, God, I'm done suffering. I just want to be happy. Okay, so that said, Jessie May, that was really important because, like with schizophrenics, I see a lot of shit in people's charts too, and I could just whip it out and pull out all the crap out of the chart, and this would probably take us, depending on how long we want to work on it, in her natal chart, in her solar return chart, and a whole bunch of stuff, right? Just like people who have mental disorders or drug addiction, you can find all these placements, Everything is in your soul. Everything is energy in your soul. And one of the easiest, coolest ways is to go through astrology to bridge the gap between what I'm saying here metaphysically and bring it right to you in earth world in a vibration that you can understand. And that's what's amazing about astrology. And it's infinite, like all that is God and everything. Everything has messages, right? This is true of this too. So this story of what's going on with your friend is going to be right there in the astrology. If you want to send me her chart, I'll tell you exactly what's going on, but we'll have to do it on another day if you want to get that into it. Because the problem is not that there really is an energy entity, so to speak. The problem is that there is belief systems going in here from lifetimes. I got about 4 or 5 different lifetimes of her believing in this stuff. Some with witches, and I feel that she, this is what's coming in, I feel that she carries these portals, these energies in her, and she had some really shitty witchcraft energy, which scared the living fuck out of her when she was a child, like 3, 4, 5, then 7, 8, 9, and then 10 and 11. There's at least 3 lifetimes, right? And 3 would be is the number of active God. All right, so there's an incredible amount of fear that these toxic witchcraft energies that she was in this lifetime, and she was a child, and they scared the living shit out of her with this. When I say with this, meaning basically believing that they can put toxic shit onto her, like demons and things like that, right? And everything is relevant to your beliefs, right? So in her particular case, it behooves her to work on these energies to release all that, right? But I would like to also know the whole entire story, because every word and every sentence you say gives me more insight and information from universe and the stars. So when you talk to me, everything that is God talks to me too, my guides, the stars, everything that is love, right? Just like when I saw that pink angel that came in, and my soul with love or God guided me to that. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and all the gifts I have, you guys all have. Know this. I'm no better than you, and you're no better than me, because no better than a ring is no better than a tiger, is a person, or anything. See, God isn't prejudice. God or love is everything, So if it hates this pen, it hates itself, right? So truth be told, love doesn't do that in its purest form. Love does everything amazing from love, right? And does not hate, does not have prejudice, does not have unwell. It is man who makes everything unwell or toxic, right? It is unwellness in the soul that creates all the crazy fucked up shit. It's all the stuff that goes on in the world, right? Okay. All right. So that said, what else does Jessie have to say with this? Does she get more into it?
She's basically saying that she totally feels you. You've made her realize she has some inner work to do. And she feels like you're speaking the truth, and she hears you, and she says thank you.
Oh, God bless you, girl.
She
like I said,
fucking loves you.
I fucking love you too. And also, get her chart. Send her stuff to me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that chart and I'm going to say, okay, God, what's the God's honest truth here? What is going on with Jessie's friend, and how is the best way to help her? What habits, patterns, energies are going on in there? Where to direct me to, so we can change this for her from love. And I'll get you those answers, and you can clear it out, and you can do it yourself, or we can do it here. And we'll be talking more about this coolest shit into the future as well. It's fascinating, isn't it? I'm just like, boom. And that's how you know when you're in your element. When you love what you do and you can't get enough, and you do it all the time and 24/7, that is how you know your destiny. It's doing what you love, right? And it's like being an addict. It's like you can't stop. But you love it in a positive, healthy way, right? Okay, so that said, this is what we do. We do God, we do love. This is what my soul came in here to do. And if you're on my page here, watching our show, you're our people and I'm your people. Thank God for that, because there's a lot of shitty people out there. And when I say shitty people, they're broken, they're toxic, they're unwell, and they are not in the same heart space as, let's say, high-end Christ consciousness. But that's why we're all here, to change this world, right? To change stuff like that. And we set the example, we set the bar, and we're all part of that same team, right? To change the world. And thank God for that. Thank God for that, right? Yeah. All right, so go ahead. Who's next?
Gretchen Elmore is next. She wrote in, she said, "Hi Lynn, you helped me when Bruce, our Doberman, came into our lives. He just passed away on 1/12. I am so sad and lost without him. Are there any messages from Bruce?"
Oh my God, Gretchen, I'm so sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. Shit. It's been a long time. I do remember you. I know you and Chad. Is it Chad? I think it is Chad. Yeah. Okay. So she wants to know what messages, anything from her dog?
Yes.
He's around you all the time. He has not left your side. He is there. He's a little dumbfounded. He doesn't really quite know what happened. Meaning, he hasn't like wrapped his head around it, or his heart really. And if you know about Dobermans, they have really big hearts, and that's a lot of times part of the problem. Can be in Earth world, where they get I want to say an enlarged heart, and this is coming in. interesting enough, it brings me to our friend Anne and her magic. So it makes me say, well, what happened, right? What's the God's honest truth? But I'm going to ask God, and if you want to share it, you can, and if not, they'll give me the answer. But he's around you all the time. These things are coming in for reasons for you. Let me just see, what else for Gretchen? Okay. Okay, Bruce is around you all the time. He's got like a funky little step that he does, but he's also bringing in a new puppy. Have you got the new puppy yet? He's getting it for you. He's going to be around you to help you raise that new puppy. Bruce was a no-nonsense kind of dog, right? He's kind of like our Samson. We have a German Shepherd named Samson, and I swear to God, he popped right out of the Bible. Honest to God, he's a power man, and it's like you get in his energy and everybody's afraid of him. And most people have a fear of German Shepherds, right? Not most people, but a lot of people do, right? Because a German Shepherd carries a particular energy. But Samson, our dog, carries this fucking warrior energy that is like, don't fuck with me, on a hardcore level, right? And it's really funny because you walk down the road with him and people are like, whoa. You know what I'm talking about. People who aren't normally afraid of dogs will be afraid of him. And because he has a serious ass energy. He's been a warrior for lifetimes. He has problems with me because I'm a power girl. So he has problems with that, which is part of what Bruce had with you. Bruce had a little bit of issues with power energies, right? But ultimately he loves you guys. He's a little sad about not being able to stay longer, but it's funny because he's walking around and he keeps showing me his feet, and he's going like doing like some little dance step, or how Dobermans have a particular walk, and Bruce had a particular walk, but he has a lot of a beautiful energy around you. He's around you guys all the time. He's there for your healing, but he's also there to usher in a new dog. I feel it's going to be a puppy. Oh, wow. He is actually, the puppy that he's going to choose is actually going to come into the energy. So he can be coming into the energy because he feels like he didn't have enough time with you. So he's like, there are certain animals that will share their bodies with people, as crazy as this sounds, right? But it's not like a possession. All right? It's a little different, right? Like I said, God is infinite, and there's all different ways of understanding. And in Earth world, we tend to think like this, right? But that's not what's going on here. There is agreements of souls and energies, and Bruce is kind of working through his stuff, and the puppy is going to help him and you to heal, not only because it's a new puppy, but because you're going to feel and see Bruce's energy, in this new puppy, and you're going to know Bruce is there. And it's really fucking cool. And this is the guidance that they're telling me is most important for you. They're also telling me to get a pink rose and a red rose. And if you have him in an urn, or if you have buried him somewhere, go and put those on his grave, or put them on top of his urn. It's very emotional. Because this is about nurturing, this is about passion, this is about super amounts of love. And there's something about the energy of these two flowers and the connection for you with him and healing within all of this. It's metaphysical as well as it is earth world. And just leave them on there till they dry out. Till like the fucking end of time, right? As long as they need to be there. And then maybe someday I feel you'll put them in a special box with tissue paper or something to hold on to. Kind of like I have my dog Nani's a very special box or a bag that I got for her. And she came in a little tin. This is years ago. And I put a card. Some people sent me cards, of sympathy when my Nana died, and when my Kayla died, because she was that same soul. Okay? Oh, fuck. Now they're telling me this is why I love that love so much. It's because Nani comes into love.
Oh, my God.
I know. I just like, boom, right? This is why we do this work. It's fucking incredible, right? It's funny because just as many messages as I give to you guys come in at the same time. And I'm like, whoa, right? It's crazy. All right, Gretchen, that's awesome. Because I'm like, why am I so fucking attached to this dog, Get it. I totally get it. We love too hard sometimes, it seems like, right? But that's the souls that we are. All right, girl. Many blessings. I hope to talk with you soon. And I just fucking love you guys. Love Bruce too.
Gretchen
Thanks.
says she's sobbing, and this is so healing and such a blessing.
Oh, good. Thank you, Gretchen. I'm so glad I'm sobbing. Like, fuck, right? Hard to keep out of the emotional, right? And I'm getting better at that with my Capricorn moon, right? It's all part of my healing as well. So thank you. Thank you too. Okay. So where are we now? Who's next?
So I wanted to tell you your friend Ligia from Portugal is here, from Madeira Island, Portugal. And she says, hey, and thank you so much.
Hey. Oh, cool. I remember you, girl. Go ahead.
Molly wrote in. She wrote, hi, Lynn. I miss you guys. I'm excited to come to class this week. I would love a $5.
Okay. Molly, they're keeping you finishing up old work. That's why you haven't been here with everything. Sometimes we make plans and the universe changes those plans. Just like when we started our show last week and we had to take like a break for like 3 weeks with the sickness and the house issues and all this crazy stuff going on in our personal lives and one thing after another, right? So everything's in God's time. It's about faith. So the same thing is happening here with you. It's about finishing, and with many of us, it's about finishing up the past, the end of last year, the stuff that must be completed as we move into the new year. Time is also moving faster than ever. It's like I did a whole bunch of stuff today that I needed to get done like fucking forever, but every day God throws something new into my thing that I got to deal with. It's like boom, 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 God in my soul, right? Boom, 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 one thing after another, right? So this is what's going on. So we are all going to be challenged. It's going to be a lot harder to do things in these times. And this is Mercury retrograde too. Mercury retrograde, right? Because Mercury retrograde is a period in the stars where the planet Mercury goes into what you call retrograde, or it appears to go backwards. And what this does is this brings in a whole energetic redo or revisit for all of us, and depending on everything else that's going on in the stars, right, as well as where it's hitting everybody in their personal chart, and that will bring in the challenges, right? What's going on with you will bring in more challenges or less challenges. So with the Mercury retrograde, it's like a lot of us will be revisiting things from the past, getting an opportunity to redo things, as well as have to readdress or get set back, right, with business stuff and contracts and communication and electronics and things like that. So Mercury, look up the third house, Gemini, look up Virgo. There will be challenges all associated with Mercury and Mercury retrograde. So this is playing a role here too, right? It's kind of like haven't seen the fire inspector in 2 years and the fucking fire inspector shows up in my business, and then we got another space in our business, and then every time we get a new damn space in our business, right? So this is repeat as well. Mercury retrograde, it's redoing, rehashing out, rechanging. Do you want to do anything different? Do you want to clear this energy out? How do you want to work with this energy that's going on? It's usually a 3-week period, but it goes for a month and a half, a week and a half to 2 weeks. It can go even longer than that, depending on how higher vibrational the soul is and how many things you got going on, how hard it hits you, your soul's mission, what you ask God for. Everything is intertwined in this energy. So I'm telling you this, Molly, because I feel like this is giving you some hardcore challenges these days, as it is for many of us, right? So, we got another space, right? And every single space I had here with the landlord, we've had fucking problems with, and fucking problems with the neighbors, because, what I do is really not mainstream and normal, right? And people are afraid of what I do. So it's like a modern day witch hunt, right? So the neighbors talk shit about me and talk shit about us and don't like us and then call up and give us fucking problems, but they have no idea what they're messing with. So, that note, though, this is all Mercury retrograde, right? But they do this because they're afraid. All these things. So I have problems with the landlord, right? With our first space, the landlord was insisting that we had to replace the bathroom because it wasn't up to city code. And then the next space, they tried to give me it. It was a piece of shit and it wasn't in the same way. And the carpenters came in and tore up everything. And then they said, you're taking it anyways. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, I know that you don't understand what I do, but I really don't give a fuck about that, because I'll walk walk away from everything. And I don't care about your rules. I don't care about earth world laws. I know about the power of God, and that's my governor. Right? So, but all of these things are part of the grand design and personal challenges for me to redo, re-get, re-challenges. And then it's making me sit here now today saying, where do I want to go with my life, God? Do I want to take this shopping center? Do I want to keep on going with the things that we're doing? And do I want to deal with this fucking energy from these douchebag earth world people, such as the landlords, the fucking hair salon people, the neighbors, just everybody's garbage and crap, because these people are fucking toxic, truth be told, right? So do I want to deal with this energy, right? Do I really, is it worth what I'm trying to do here? Is it worth having these spaces here, right? So we're going through, Molly, really powerful challenges here in these times with this Mercury retrograde energy, because it's making me reevaluate. Every day I wake up and I'm like, those motherfuckers, now they throw salt here. Poisonous salt for my dogs. They know I have fucking salt here, right? 20 years go by. Never does Virginia Beach salt, right? But this is about the landlords and the people and the challenges, and then they got a problem with my blind, and they got a problem with this and a problem with that. And really, all I want to do is run a decent business to help people, but they're so afraid and so fucking toxic in their own bullshit and energy, and we're the man because we're the landlord here. Really, all you have to do is fucking come from your heart, right? And do the right thing, whether it's in business, being a landlord, just like the leaking fucking roof and structural problems. It's over and over and over and over. And how much of this do I want to fucking deal with? Right? Because this is what this comes down to, right? Mercury retrograde is giving me personally a fucking run for my money like you wouldn't believe. And this is happening to all of us. This too, Molly, is happening to you. I'm sure you know. All right. So, and this is happening to all of us, right? This is some profound shit. And if I'm not mistaken, is the moon in Cancer right now?
I think it just was, yeah.
Yeah, it was just in Cancer. And Cancer is the mother of your emotions. Cancer is the mother, the house, the home, right? So a lot of these challenges for me are going to be in the home, with the home, right? And in the home of my soul, right? What is it that I want to do with the rest of my life? Or where do I want to go from here? How much more of these challenges do I want to deal with? When is this going to be complete? What do I want to pray on, clear, heal, change, create, and do, right? And just like I said, they don't know who they're messing with. They don't understand anything. All they understand is fucking fear, right? And the old world witchcraft shit, and that's really what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who don't understand anything about love and don't understand, and they're so fucking ignorant that they can't even ask about what you do, right? Like my neighbors in the restaurant right next door to me, and I don't really give a fuck what these people think at this point. I've totally had it with their shit, right? So I'm like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel. Let me be free of all toxic in me and do what is best for all from love, and take their nasty motherfucking shit and send it back to them. Oh, fuck yeah. Because I'm done with this.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm done with this, right? So they're all hiding from me now. Because they absolutely are, right? Because they don't want to have this journey with me. But I don't want to do this. Do you see what I'm saying? I didn't bring all this crap to them. They brought it to me because they're not doing the right thing from love. And we're all experiencing this. I'm getting calls every day. Oh, this guy in my business, he did this shit over here. And can you believe he did this? And what do I do? And you shouldn't send energy back to people and blah, blah, blah. All I'm doing is taking their nasty crap that they sent to me and giving it back to them. So I'm bringing them to their own enlightenment. What a gift that is, really, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm honoring me. I'm respecting me. I'm doing the right thing for me from love, because this society isn't going to do it. And I can lay down and die and say, okay, I'll pay for the $25,000 bathroom that you won't fix because you didn't do the right thing as the landlord and you didn't fix the structure in your property. And I'll pay for it because I'm afraid of you because you have so much money. Fuck you. No way in hell I'm ever going to do that. You can come here. Same thing with the shot. No way in hell. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. All right. So, because this is about me loving me in the healthiest, best way. And this is about doing the right thing from love. And all of this is what we are all going through right now. And so, Molly, you are having massive challenges with this. I think that you know that, right? And it's on all different levels, because you too experience some of this home stuff and everything. Everybody's experiencing variations of this. And people calling me left and right with all this crazy stuff, right? Because we are the guys that can't fold. We have to do what is right from love. All because we can be shitty or mean or toxic doesn't mean we should, right? Some people say, well, what are you doing sending them energy? Oh, yeah. All I'm doing, right? If you charge at a lion and try to take his shit and give him a hard time, what is he going to do? He's going to fuck you up because you shouldn't have messed with the motherfucker in the first place. That's the truth. She'll leave him the fuck alone. Honor each other. Come from love with each other. This is his space. Honor it. Come from love. Well, really, this is the truth. Do anybody not agree? Right? We all came here to live our greatest lives, and if we would just honor, respect, have integrity, Capricorn, come from love with each other, whole different world. Do the right fucking thing in business, friendships, everywhere from love. Not necessarily earth world beliefs, from love. So Molly, remember this with all of this, okay? Super important for you as you go through this and for all of us, right? So for you with your fiver, they're telling me maybe a few more weeks before things come around. Work with this stuff. Keep working on your clearings and all the things you're working on, right? And as long as you stay in alignment with love, and if you don't know what that is, ask love. Would love do this? Is this the right thing, God? What's the God's honest truth here, right? Because then you will always be sure and be in alignment with that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So who's next?
Kayla Jo Smith said she loves and she could watch you forever.
Thank you. I know I'm a little wild sometimes, and I get the shit on, right? I'm a human being, right? But I'm always talking to God, and I'm saying, okay, I feel my emotional shit, and I can get angry, and I can get pissed off, and these are healthy emotions, but I also have passion, right? And people don't understand passion today. They really don't, right? Passion, what do you love, right? And get excited about. That's what passion is. People walk around like, I don't know, right? Just like all the people out there, like, they want to get high 24/7. Fuck, you're missing your whole fucking life. There's no passion in that, right? So you got to say, why am I doing what it is that I'm doing? With everything that we're doing, right? Are we coming from love? But thank you. I'm glad you love my shit. Glad you love our show. Super grateful for all of you. And I have a great time with you guys. Thanks. And I love what we do. All right. And thanks for letting me know that. And what else did she?
She does have more. She wants to know. Her son's father, Jared, was in her dream last night. He passed in 2017, and today would have been his 37th birthday. So she's wondering if there are any messages from him or anything like that.
Today would have been Jared's 37th birthday?
Yeah.
And that is does he have she have a baby boy with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Son.
Yeah.
She said she saw you shortly after Jared died.
Yeah, because I'm picking up the baby boy and the father. Father's all around him. The baby boy is very much like the father. So what happened with the father needs to be balanced out in your baby boy, all right? Because there's a propensity in the energy for what happened with his dad to happen in him. I have another client who has like a similar story. She has a little boy, and he's such a beautiful, beautiful soul, just like your little guy. And the kid's father committed suicide and shot himself in the head. The kid's uncle, which was the brother of the father, did the same thing. And there is clearly a propensity in the family for this energy to happen, right? So these are things that, Jared wants you to be aware of in the energy. It doesn't mean you freak out and try to protect him from everything. It means that you start working with God for the best outcome so that you help to keep your child healthy and teach him different ways of working with God so he doesn't go down this route from love, right? So he can have the best life, and you can give him the best tools, right? Because everybody thinks in Earth world, in the Earth world belief system ways of, like, let's say Saturn, I give my kid a good education, I can give them lots of money, and I can leave them my house and everything that was my legacy or whatever, right? But if we don't teach them how to work with God or how to work with love and how to, work with astrology or clear energies and be aware of what is going on in our souls, right? Because it doesn't matter if I leave my kids millions of dollars, if there is a propensity in my kids to overspend or waste money or not know the value of money or habits and patterns of and energies of being poor and deficit in their soul that is running, that money's going to be gone in 2 seconds. That's why people who win lotteries don't have any money either, right? They piss it all away because they don't know anything about Earth world to have money to begin with, but also it is mainly the energies in them, that these habits, patterns, energies running in them that cause them to not have that money or not be able to retain it, right? So you can still give them earth world things, right? But if you give them the tools of creating, working with God or working with love, that's the greatest gift you can ever give them, right? So, and clearing and changing and understanding how things truly work to create their destiny, right? As well as teach them awesome old world values, integrity, honor, respect, character, doing the right thing, and all about love, right? All about love, right? Because these are the tools that are going to help him avoid those crossroads or have a bridge over them, heal them in him and in the family lineage for in the future. So the unwell things that have gone down with Jarrett exiting early, right? Or so to speak, right? Even though that was right on time with his soul, right? Your son and you will have a different destiny. Do you see what I'm saying? So the more, just like my kids, the more I teach them to work with love and God, like they're like, oh, I can't stand this and I don't like this and this is going to happen and what can I do about this? And this is just the way oh, fuck no, right? Just like the landlords here, just like all their shit, I have all the power. Okay, God, what do I do here? How do I be free of paying for the bathroom that they want me to pay? How do I be free of having to deal with them, right? How do I be free of all these things, both in earth world as give me the best solutions, tools, gifts, happiness, everything that I need, right? And I'm talking to God and I'm clearing my blocks and I'm changing, erasing, clearing, healing, releasing emotionally, asking love for everything I need. So Jarrett comes in sharing this wisdom with you. He's really glad that you are here because he wants this for his boy. He wants this new life for you as well, because there is a great destiny, and it's like he's pushing through these golden gates, and it's almost like it's heaven, and he's pushing through these massive golden gates. Did you see this in a dream? All right, because it's if you haven't, it's coming, and there's all these clouds, and it's like he's opening the doorway to heaven. Wow, on earth for you guys right now. Oh, I'm going to cry. And so if you haven't seen this vision that I'm seeing, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, cool shit. So I hope you are happy with that. All right, thanks. That was very moving, wasn't it? What time is it?
About 8:30.
Okay. Who's doing the next question?
I got it.
All right.
Nikki wrote in. She said that her and Nicholas were looking to get fabrics to make a dress. The original red fabric they chose didn't have enough, so they went to get a shimmery blue fabric instead. When they left the fabric store, Nikki saw Ariel from The Little Mermaid in a dress of the same color, and she's wondering if this whole experience is related to her Atlantis lifetime.
Oh, that's funny shit, Nikki. All right. God, what's the God's honest truth about all of this stuff that went down? With this, I'm getting sort of. There's connections in here, but it's not whole entire pieces of this is why this is going down and happening. So you're right about the connections, right? You're definitely right about that, and it's not being right or wrong. But the true energy here is that one massive lifetime that is so much trauma in it with you and Nicholas, right? That's the true energy. And living, and the reason the dress is red is it's about living out your passion, right? Atlantis comes in with the Little Mermaid and the green and the sea, because the Atlanteans were like the Aquarians, or like Aquarius. In astrology, right? They're, or you could say like a lot of the millennials, right? And like Bill Gates and all that shit, they're all fucking wrapped up in there, and the toxic in the world. But not all Aquarius is like this, right? But what's coming in with this energy is the Atlantean energy that was wrapped up in their head, right? And this is about the healing of your head and your heart. So it does connect with Atlantis energy from past lifetimes for you. Let me just move this. I feel like it's like in the way. All right, so it does connect, it does come in and connect with that, and that is part of that healing. All right, and that's like the Atlantean toxic headspace, but there were a lot of beautiful, amazing things that the Atlanteans did as well, right? So again, this is about healing your head and your heart, right? And the Little Mermaid married the love of her life, and it was passion, right? In the little fairy tale in this story, and this is about lifetimes for you. So these lifetimes are interconnected, but the biggest chunk here is that trauma lifetime where you didn't get to live your passion, and you and Nicholas couldn't be together, and like society betrayed you, and the world betrayed you, and then Nicholas accidentally betrayed you, right? Because we trusted the wrong people, right? So this is part of that journey even now today. We're all going through some variation in our own personal past life to present day histories of all that is in our souls, right? We're going through variations of this, right? Because this is all part of our healing, right? Balancing our head and our heart, or thinking with our hearts, right? Right? So your intellectual heart space, right? You can call it many different things in many different ways, but you get my point. So that's what's going on. So you totally were tapping into it, Nikki. You picked it up just like I picked up that little angel today with Sarah Sutra's reading, right? It just spun out like a little golden coin over here, like a flashing light, right? So that was designed to get my attention. I go, and then this information comes in with it. Same thing here. Good for you, Nikki, girl. You guys are doing great. Good for you. So there you go, girl. All right. So who's next?
I have a follow-up with Gretchen. She said that you were spot on with Bruce's dance and prance, his heart, and about the puppies he's trying to bring in. Mm-hmm. But she says, having lost 2 souls dogs in 3 years, she's confused as to which puppies to take or wait for.
You're so fucking funny, Gretchen, man. I'm laughing because you're such a lover. How many puppies is there? Does she say?
She doesn't. Take them all, Gretchen.
Yeah, I feel like there's 3. I feel like there's 3. And it doesn't matter. Whichever one is the best avenue and agreement that Bruce has will with this puppy energy, right? It will be the right one. It will be the right one, because that's the destiny here, right? This is totally the destiny. All right, so don't sweat it. But there is something, like Jennifer said, about you. Do you see where that ring went? Right, okay, yeah. I got it, thanks. There is something about you possibly getting all 3 of them. So it's not going to matter. Close your eyes, right? Ask God to pick the best one for you, and may you be the best one and home and mom for that puppy. And may the other 2 find their best home and mom as well, if 3 is too much, because I totally get it, right? But there is a possibility that you just might go for it because you're such a fucking lover. Oh, my God. Let me tell you, I got 4 dogs, and you, oh, my God. It's a lot. It's a lot right now, right? Especially because we're fighting illnesses with them, right? And you know what that's like, but you're totally equipped as a healer, Gretchen, and you got this. But close your eyes, ask God for the best one for you, and let them show you and guide you, and let it be the best one, whichever one that is that you pick, right? And it'll happen. So, and Bruce will come through. Okay? All right. Did we cover everything with that?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Gretchen. All right, go ahead.
Trey Ryder is asking if there's anything coming in from his guides or his mother.
Hi, Trey. It's interesting that you say that you're asking about your mother, because your mother is with your father a lot right now. I'm feeling like on definitely on a soul level, you know that, right? You know that your mom is with your dad. It doesn't mean that your dad has crossed over, but your mom is like around him a lot. There's something going on in your dad and in his soul. And things going on there that are bringing her to the door, to his door. And I feel like it's about emotional healing. All right, really big emotional healing. So she's around your dad a lot. What was his question? Did you have more question with this?
Just if there's anything from this guy to his mom.
Okay, yeah. What else? What's the God's honest truth here? Best gifts, tools, wisdom, advice for him. Now, please, God. There is something about a white dog, like almost like a shepherd type of dog. It could be a mix, but there's something about a white dog. Are you thinking about getting one? Because it's something about like a white shepherd, a white dog, and it's with your mom, and I feel like she's bringing it in. I feel like she's ushering this in, not unlike what is the name of the Gretchen's boy, Bruce? You know, Bruce is doing metaphysical things behind the scenes as well. Because I feel like this dog has got like a shepherd walk, like my dog Nani, right? And I feel like your mom is bringing her in, I don't know if you have a family dog. I feel like you have pets already, but there is something magical and different about this dog. Absolutely. It's a gift from your mom for higher knowing and healing. This dog is a magical fucking dog. So if you don't have it, I feel it's coming in. Anything else from the mom, or from Trey's mom? She loves you super much. Super, super, super much. And she too wishes she could hold you in Earthworld. Physically in Earthworld. All right, God, what else we got for Trey? Anything else? Your mom is a guide for your littlest baby. She really connects. Is your littlest baby a boy? With him? The word's him coming in. If it's not a boy, then I feel like your littlest baby will have a lot of masculine energy, and that could come out as a tomboy. That could come out as in many different various ways, right? Whether it is it could come out like later on in life in like bisexual energy, or being gay, or being a lesbian, or whatever, you know, I don't know what the proper names are for all of this. And really, that isn't what matters in the world. What matters is it's about the energy, right? But there's something about this energy that she's connecting with, right? Which is your littlest baby. Right? And it has like a masculine energy, and it could just very well be Aries energy, right? It could be a girl with Aries energy or a boy with very powerful Aries energy, because Aries is like the number one masculine sign in the zodiac. It's like a serious man energy, right? So it does create some challenges for girls, right? Like my mom has like 6 massive Aries placements, like really powerful Aries energies in her. And so with that, you know, it's a very challenging energy to work with. So your mom is there, and there's something about bringing in this dog to help balance these energies, and as well as magical gifts are coming in with this dog, which is really neat. If you don't have it, or haven't seen it, or not feeling it, it's coming. I feel like the dog again may come into you in a dream, right? With dream stuff. Okay. Let's see. Anything else for Trey? No. Nope. Keep an eye on your dad. There is something else. There's something about some challenges with your dad's health. I don't know if you're aware of that, but there's something about some challenges coming in there, which is also why your mom is around your dad, okay? Doesn't mean that it's bad. If you get afraid, or clear those fears, man, Clear it out. We all go through human feelings, right? And we feel them, we release them, we let them go and put the best way to be from love, and Jesus take the wheel, right? Okay. And so all these things are coming in for help, for assistance, for guidance, understanding, gifts, tools, opening doorways into the future. And this is all what comes in with your mom. Neat shit. Neat shit. Okay. So who's next? You got a question now?
Yeah, Teresa Courtney Lloyd. She's looking to get a 5-er, and she says she always enjoys hearing from loved ones who have passed.
Okay. Well, is there anybody that she wants to know about or ask about right now?
She didn't really specify.
All right. So ask her if she would like to. I'm just going to ask them right now. What's the God's honest truth? Who is around Teresa that is the best person for her to connect with right now, and for whomever needs that connection with her from love in the purest form? Who is that? There's something about an Albert or an Adam, and this is a grandfather type of energy. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a grandfather energy in this life necessarily, but it feels like it was or was a grandfather to somebody, maybe not necessarily you, but it could very well have been. There's a powerful grandfather energy. Sometimes we can get these energies from people in our families, and they weren't necessarily our grandfathers, right? Sometimes like Rachel, right, is my assistant, is like my right-hand guy, Rachel and Jennifer, right? Jennifer's, excuse me, my sister in this lifetime. Rachel is my daughter from another lifetime, right? So we have this energy and this incredible love from different lifetimes, as well as we had a Native American lifetime where she was my older sister and I passed away and I was the baby when Rachel's going to start to cry now. And when I was like 3 or 4 and I died of scarlet fever way back when in the, I don't know what time would you call that, with the Native American lifetime? That was around like back in the day.
The colonists were coming over.
The colonists were coming over, and it was a very old world lifetime. So I'm telling you this, Teresa, because this is an energy that is like that. Even though Rachel is not my daughter, I love Rachel like my daughter. We have this energy going about us like a mother and daughter kind of energy, right? And Rachel gets jealous sometimes of her sisters, right? Or in meet like my kids, right? For her sisters, and just like normal kids would do, right? So this is like all normal stuff, right? That you would say, wow, this is prevalent in Earthworld, and people come in and they say, or prevalent meaning obvious messages and gifts that seem real in Earthworld, like Rachel would really be my daughter, right? But it also kind of drives her parents crazy, especially the mother that is Rachel's real mom, because Rachel's here with me, and that presents some challenges, right? But this is all part of healing and destinies and dreams and connections and karma and agreements, right? So also, people will come into the shopping center, and if Rachel's working in there, right, they'll be like, and I'll be in there doing a reading with somebody, or I'll be doing something, or working with people, or whatever, right? Or I could just be chilling there, right, doing some work in the main building, right? And Rachel be in there, and they'll be like, oh my God, is this your daughter? And I'll be like, yeah. because she really is my daughter from past lifetimes. So I'm telling you this, right? Just like I had that son and mother, right, that you would think were a couple, right, and he was Abraham Lincoln, right, in a different lifetime, right, but they had this energy where the mother was the mother and he was the son, but when they walked up to you in Earthworld, you thought they were married, you thought they were a boyfriend and girlfriend, because they carried that energy from past lifetimes, and these are energies that need to be released sometimes, right, and sometimes they're karmic agreements, they're for our best healing, there's messages all throughout these things, right, for all of us from past lives, right? You'll have somebody that you've met and you love them from different lifetimes. Let's say like Laura Mirabile, right? She's one of our practitioners here. She's a really gifted healer, right? And I have lifetimes with her on the battlefield where both of us are doctors, right? Medical intuitive, right? Where both of us are doctors, right? And so we have a beautiful respect for each other as healers, right? And Laura does incredible craniosacral work, bars work, right? Reiki work. She's an incredible healer, right? But I've worked with her in lifetimes where people are dying on fucking battlefields, where she had my back and I had her back, and we're doctors and we're trying to save lives. And here we are in this lifetime again with total respect for each other and our gifts. And there's no competition there because nobody has time for that bullshit on a battlefield. So we developed an incredible, loving relationship as being healers and helping people and being in really rough, tough fucking lifetimes of, death on a fucking battlefield and trying to save lives and heavy shit. But it created a bond of this energy between us that is just magical. And here's Laura with us as part of our team in this healing center. It's fucking incredible how we have all these connections, right? So this grandfather figure that you have is tied up in all of this type of energy, right? And he comes in as an Adam or an Albert, and he's got a grandfather figure, but it's wild because he feels like he could be an uncle too. So I'm wondering if you know who he is, right? Consciously. And again, they can come from different lifetimes and have many lifetimes. Like when people say, ancestors and ancestors, right? Your ancestors are people and energies that you've known for lifetimes who are part of that same consciousness and your God team, right? Of the space and the vibration of God that you are at and are in, right? And you have been as like a soul family for lifetimes, right? And there are different variations of that, and they go way out, and they out in meaning, right? There's ones that you're super close to, and then there's ones that you're not so close to, but there's a kinship, and there's a relationship, and there's a love, right? Within those spaces, okay? So this gentleman is around you, and I feel like he flips. He goes from an older being to a younger being, to an older being to a younger being, and I feel like he has a connection to your husband. So look into this, your husband that you have right now in this lifetime. So I feel like there's some kind of connection there. And I'm just wondering, does he have any messages in terms of this? Because there's something, this is clearly the most important one for right now for you guys. Let me just see. He's talking to me something about skiing. I don't know if there was a ski trip with you guys or ski trip with your husband, but there's something about skiing, or you could go skiing, but there's some kind of connection to skiing. There's also a connection to a log cabin, lots of snow, and the woods and nature. And what's crazy is you just posted, I thought I saw when I was flipping through my Facebook tonight or today or something, and I was posting some shit, I think I saw you posted a bunch of pics, right? And so this is connected to that, which is really fucking cool. You know what I mean? It's like we think, well, we're just posting these beautiful pics of the snow. Meanwhile, there's all this other stuff tied into this that goes with like what I'm saying right here, and for you guys to look into and explore. Anything else for Teresa, God, with this and for her husband? Brother energy, cousin energy, grandfather energy from lifetimes. But there's a really strong outdoor connection here. I feel like he was hunting with your husband. And these are responsible hunters. These aren't people who kill things for the sake of fucking killing things. These are people who respect life, who, is the word work with? Or what is the word, God? Respect and honor everything that is the energy of the animal they let's say kill or hunt, and it's lovely. It's lovely. There's like just a loveliness in that energy. Okay, let me see what else what other connection is with this, because I want to see if there's anything else with all this, because I feel like there is. Okay. And it has to do with your, again, one of your most powerful relationships in this lifetime, which I call her your daughter. She's like 10 or 11, but she is, he's around her all the time. And he He protects her, and he's saying, I got my gun, which is really neat, because and he's using that or utilizing that as like a protection thing for her. He feels like he's around her a lot. I feel like he's one of her guides, but not like a permanent guide. I feel like he's here while she's young, and this has to do with the connection of your husband and his energy. All right, but you guys have all known each other for lifetimes, but he's here. I'm trying to think of what is the name of your, she's really your granddaughter, but she's your, she's really like your daughter, just like I said about Rachel, you know what I mean, in this lifetime. And this is the part of those agreements. But he's around her all the time. He has this hunter energy, this outdoor energy, this log cabin energy. He's an old world man. Oh, wow. I feel like he's going to come to you in a dream and tell you who he is. And you'll open up the doorway to new connections with this. Okay? All right, girl. Enjoy that. A little bit of a mystery. All right. So I'd like to ask Mark and Steve, do you guys have anything?
I have a question. As soon as I came in, I thought of my friend Danny Staten, who I partied with a lot in the 1980s. And I worked together with him at a mainframe computer company. And his birthday was April 1st, and he died young. And
did he die of drugs?
I think
do you know?
AIDS, actually. I'm not really sure. He just disappeared, but he was losing weight. He was an ex-Marine, totally muscly, gymnast, totally fit guy. And then he just started kind of losing weight, and then he just kind of disappeared, moved back to his parents' place. And he was promiscuous. And he was
like when you say promiscuous, like sexually promiscuous,
yeah.
or promiscuous with drugs, because I feel like there's something about him shooting up.
Yeah.
Ultimately, right, it's
Yeah.
the drugs that killed him because he got it spread. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because wild behavior, wild times, people don't know.
Yeah, it could be hepatitis or something like that for sure, because he was definitely looking unhealthy before we.
Yeah, because his death is directly related to the drugs. It's kind of like, you ever see like that old show from the 80s, that Dr. G, right?
Yeah,
And one of the things that they'll do is they'll be like, oh, this woman stabbed him over here, and then 15 years later they find out that it's related to his heart and he died, so she gets charged with murder. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, and it's crazy shit, but the bottom line is it's a way to explain to you how this is the cause of what happened. This was his cause of death.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, because I keep seeing visions of like needles. But what would you like to know aside from this or with this?
Like we have some past life together. He's the only man I ever saw that I really liked. Like, had he been a female, I would have seen him as partner material. But we were in a very unhealthy space. But I also remember watching this show, which is not something we normally did. We sat down and watched this musical called Showboat, and this song in there is called Old Man River or whatever. When I was sitting down here, that whole experience came up, and that was a very positive experience, a healthy experience, as opposed to most of the stuff we did. But for some reason, when I came in tonight, I looked at that little angel and I thought of him. Yeah. Or at least that pink color top.
Yeah, and this is for healing. This is absolutely for healing from the past, from the deepest, darkest emotional shit. And I don't know if you're ready for what I want to say.
Well, you go.
All right,
well,
you sure?
I know he had the hots for me. We went to Hawaii.
Because this comes in as a love affair.
Yes. We went on this trip, and the people selling us
tickets
just assumed that we were gay, and that was the first time I became conscious of it.
Yeah.
And and that doesn't bother me now, but in those days it probably would.
Well, right. Well, you have a more mature space than a lot of people would in these times in this space, right? But you also have had lifetimes, just like I have. We've all been gay. We've all had multi-sex relationships and done all kinds of crazy, promiscuous things, from whoring around to being a slave and being a concubine and all kinds of dark and toxic stuff. But this doesn't come in as that. This comes in, though, as, not your traditional earth world heterosexual relationship. This comes in as a love affair. It absolutely does. You and him loved each other from lifetimes.
He's really the
It's
only
actually
friend I
very
have like
beautiful.
that.
My daughter Madeline, one of her favorite movies is Brokeback Mountain, because she recognizes how much in love these two guys are, right? And this is what came in with this. You have had lifetimes with this man, and you were together, right? In a very special, loving relationship, which is also why this comes in. But it is also why your children have these energies in them as well, because you carry this in you. Isn't that neat? You could say, well, this is bad that my kid might be like this or not, or whatever you agree with or not, right? That energy comes in with everything that you are, but they too carry that energy, and this is why you're all in this family lineage and in this family line, right? So these things can be healed, addressed, or are gifts and part of us. Do you see what I'm saying? Or magic. You know what I mean? So it's really neat. So this comes in for healing. I feel like he's walking around you. He's around you all the time.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the closest, best relationships I ever had in my life. Even though we did a lot of toxic shit.
Oh, yeah. Partners in crime.
Yeah, definitely.
Partners in crime. You had understanding, right? Yeah. Yeah, totally get that, right? I have some old world friends that I haven't seen in like fucking forever, and we were partners in crime too. We did some pretty toxic shit, when we were younger. That's part of sometimes growing up in life, right? But that's also part of how we know not to do those things anymore, right? Right? We learn from our unwellnesses, especially when it boomerangs and comes back and we feel miserable and it kicks our asses. You know what I mean? Yeah. So are you asking me,
I'm just wondering, like, people are asking about dead people. I'm just asking, is he around, or what's my connection? I feel like we have a past life connection. I totally felt that energy, like had he been a girl, I would have been all over him. I just couldn't do the same sex thing in this lifetime. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know what I mean? That is okay. Yeah. So this is about healing. This is about being okay with who you are, right? And your relationships. And this is about releasing all of this energy and these emotions in you. And that's why he's also around you to help you with that. That's why he comes in. Like, people think, oh, I just thought of this out of the women. I don't know why I thought of that, but that's not really the truth. When we think of things and people come in, just like sometimes you'll think of somebody and then, or you'll be sitting down and all of a sudden you'll think, I wonder how Lynn's doing, and then all of a sudden I'll call you. I'll be like, Steve, what are you up to, right? Same kind of thing. We think of things because it's telepathic. We're connecting with that energy, whether it's a soul who has crossed over, or somebody who's in the process of crossing over, or somebody who's thinking about us, or there's healing going on there, so we think of them. And it goes both ways, right? Sometimes the healing usually it's for both and intertwined, right? But sometimes they'll be thinking about you at the same time. You know what I mean? Or you'll meet somebody in a dream. I mean, there's infinite ways to heal.
And just today I thought about love being Nani, because like Samson and Daisy, they'll almost push each other out of the way to get loving. And love would go by, and she was so aloof, she didn't care about my loving at all. And then, just like Nani. And then somebody I was talking to on the phone today about getting a new place to live, she was talking about her daughter's Doberman. And it's just so weird that these things that came up tonight are literally things that have come into my head in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. So you're picking up on the energy of what's coming in the future and all to do with this. Isn't that neat? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fucking fascinating. Just like the angel when we first talked about it, And there was some other stuff, just like Teresa's pictures with the snow. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Fascinating shit, right? Yeah, so that's what's going on. And so what do? We ask God to clear, heal, and change and release this from love, and energetically and emotionally and in all ways, from love in the purest form that is all of this, and from our whole entire time together tonight. Free us from this now, please. Clear, heal, and change it, and put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is, in place of all this and with all this. Thank you, God, for that for us now, please, in our souls. And in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is, in the best way for us, and all something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. All right, Mark, what you got?
I'm okay.
I like how your cool hat matches your blue here. Kind of neat. Mark's got some fashion going on. Yeah. All right, so you don't got nothing?
I'm okay.
All right, what time we at right now, guys?
It is 8:57.
8:57. I'm going to ask Jennifer, do you have a question? I feel like Jennifer has a question.
Since I think I have a deep fear of having some sort of a blood clot, and I want to clear that.
Oh, and that's coming in with your poll today. Okay, good. So Jennifer said, well, you guys heard it. So, no sense in reviving it, right? All energy that is all of this, that is this fear that is in Jennifer. And it also comes in with this, clear, heal, and change all of this in our souls, and when we are, we say, do, and create, and all that it is. And in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is, and release all of this energy emotionally and in all ways, in the healthiest way from love, and put the best way to be from love in the purest form in our souls, and when we are, we say, do, and create, and all that it is. And thank you, God, for that for us. In the best way for us to know something better. And thank you, God, for that for us.
Thank you, God, for that for me.
Yeah, but it's cool that you can talk about these fears because these things are what creates that kind of creep stuff. You know what I mean? And they're telling me it's not a blood clot. They're telling me what happened to you today, right?
I'd be freaking out.
You fell and you did a number on you.
I know.
And the reason it's going down here is because it fucked up like one of your nerves, right? Jennifer fell today inside of the bagel shop or some kind of breakfast shop we were in, right? Or she was in. She walked in the door and there was water on the ground. And it fucking took her out. So she really did a number on her hip and her whole right side, right? Was it your right side or your left side?
My left side.
Her whole left side, right? So these are some places where we should explore about where you're not comfortable in your feminine energy and everything to do with the feminine energy. Your left side is your feminine, your right side is your masculine, right? But what I'm picking up on is, what happened is it's like a sciatica. It's like a nerve thing, right? So there's certain self-salts like with that, but you also have to give yourself time to heal. Put some heating pad, those lovely heating pads that you make with the rice in them that we sell at the shop, right? And she makes them and they're beautiful, right? But I use it all the time with the mold sickness and the toxins that we got going on, right? Because sometimes I get shooting pains, sometimes like my fucking knee is inflamed, so this helps to release that and get the blood flow there, right? But that's coming in for you along with the cell salts, and they're saying rest. Don't try to do too much. So for the next few days, if somebody else has to walk the dogs, you need to let that happen, right? Because so that you take care of you. They're also telling me drink lots of water, all right? Your alkaline water. Sorry. It doesn't have to be this kind. It can be other kinds. You can have an alkaline machine. It's always better if you don't have to get it in plastic, of course, right? That's always wiser. The less shit we have in plastic and toxins, the better, right? But they're telling me, flush out the toxins. The other thing that comes in for you is Pure makes a supplement. I think it's called the AI enzymes, and we should really get you some of those. I think we have it in the pharmacy at the new space. And yeah, because that's for healing. I don't know why the fuck I didn't think of that this morning, right? But we've been so busy and crazy that it's just been one thing after another. But that comes in because that's really great for cartilage and nerves and healing. So we're gonna pull that out. Pure Supplements is another good company. They make good quality products as well. And then we use the cell salts. Make sure you put the heat on it and rest. This is gonna take a good 2 to 3 weeks before you're gonna really bang that out. And I feel like there may even be a little crack in your hip bone. You went down that hard.
I know I did.
Yeah. So look at your body and
I'm dreading tomorrow.
Well, ask God to heal it. Right, but instead of dreading it, ask God to be free of dreading it. Ask God for the best health. Ask God to free you from it. Jesus, take the wheel. Heal me now. Right? Just like all the bread I ate today. Oh my God, I'm dreading it. Right? Ask God to clear it out. Right? Ask God to heal it. Right? Mercury retrograde would be why I had a bread moment. Right? We're all human. Right? So, but tomorrow I'm like, oh my God, I know that when I eat a bread or too many breads, right? What happens? My inflammation goes fuck crazy. Right? So I want to ask God to free us from that, and then we do things to help balance that, like blueberries, right? The other thing that came in that I gave you was the turmeric, right? The turmeric is very good. The liquid turmeric or turmeric, there's different kinds and forms of it. There's certain brands that are really good. You want to take it with black pepper as well as with a fat. Anytime you do take it, the liquid I prefer the most because it's able to assimilate into your body quicker and get the best results. So that comes in for the inflammation, to get the inflammation down, to help it heal, as well as the AI enzymes. When we go home, I'll talk to Universe God, and we'll get you the best solutions for that as well. But also the cell salts in the meantime, because those are going to help to repair that. And those come in for about 2 to 3 weeks as well. Your 5, your 6, your 7, because those are fantastic for nerve-related things, right? Those are some of those things. But also, and this is again, you have underlying, toxins going on with this stuff. So number 4 and number 10 and number 11 come in as well. And number 11 comes in, interesting enough, because I was asking God, as well as also the, because that comes in for bones. So to help you heal this faster, you're already taking a whole bunch of supplements like calciums, vitamin E, vitamin D, K, all these things are helping, right? So these things are all going to help towards that. But there's also about the hibiscus peach tea, at least 2 glasses of it a day. But if we're going to drink a lot of that or more of it, then remember to drink enough water. Okay, because there's something about the hibiscus peach tea also being super healing for the bones and the bloods and lymphatic system. Okay. All right. Yes, thank you. So you got a lot of good plans, and then of course, like me and you should stay away from the bread, the sweets, and the pastas and all that shit. It's like, I said to my youngest child, I said, it's okay to eat it once in a while. It is. Right? But you don't want to be having lots of it, and you don't want to be having it every day, especially if you have like toxins going on in you or health issues, because they're going to inflame those things. Okay. All right. So I think we're pretty much good for tonight, everybody. Anybody who had questions that didn't get answers, we will definitely answer them next week. My team is fantastic, and they write these things down. Let me just see. So thank you all for coming. If you can donate, please do. We got Venmo, PayPal, or you can send a check or cash here through the mail, whatever you feel in your heart. But you can also share our stuff energetically. And what I tell people is feel in your heart what is best. Also, our next show, 7:15, Friday night, Medical Intuitive, 6 and 12, Medical Intuitive, just like a little bit of what we did tonight with Jen, helping her to be well, right? For all of us in multiple ways. Healing, happiness is in everything. Okay, thank you guys for coming. We'll see you next week. Have a great night. Or actually,